you having trouble finding a job? Well, it's not just you. Okay, so last week I talked about how Trump's chaotic tariffs are raising prices, but Trump's policies aren't just driving up costs, they're also making it harder for you to get a job. Now, before I go into it more, I just want to say at the top that what I'm seeing is a doom loop. Trump's economic policies mean that prices are climbing. Anybody who goes to the grocery store can see that. But now, if people can't get jobs and wages don't move at all, people are just not going to be able to keep up with the already rising costs. And that's a problem all across the country. Families who were already hanging on by their fingernails are being hit by Trump tariffs on the coffee they drink, to the new refrigerator they need to install since the last one broke. And if you don't have a job, and no matter how many applications you send in, you still can't land one, then that is a real problem for you. So, what's going on with unemployment? Let's start with the unemployment rate. You might be wondering what it means for workers that the unemployment rate is now 4.3% when it was 4% in January. You know, that might not seem like a big jump, but understand that's more than 500,000 people out of work since Trump took office. It's important to pull those numbers apart. And here are some of the things I've seen that worry me. First, young people coming right out of college, Gen Zers. Right now, they're also having a really hard time finding a job. And that means they can't even get a foot in the door. I hear from recent grads all the time, where are the entry-level jobs? But the problem they're having is not normal. Second, unemployment rates for Black Americans are up. It's jumped more in the last 3 months than it has in the last 3 years. But here's the other thing about the Black unemployment numbers. For nerds like me who've been studying numbers like this for a while, you know that Black unemployment can actually be a warning sign that things are about to get worse. Those numbers are a canary in the coal mine, and it's something to pay attention to. It means that things could take a downward swing soon.
Right now, the U.S. unemployment rate is at 4.3%. We just learned that very few jobs were added in August, about 22,000. That's not good. If you were to describe this via text, you send a red alarm emoji. Now, for Black workers, the data is worse. For now, another month, the unemployment rate is going up. It's now 7.5%. That's the highest it's been since October of 2021. And it's a number we've been watching ever since it was 6.8% in June. It's 2 alarm emojis.
And that means more mamas forced to skimp on new school supplies so they have enough money to buy PB&Js for the kids for the week. It means working class people forced to sell the car they need to get another job just so that they can keep paying rent. It means new grads struggling to pay their student loans. However you look at it, the Trump administration is sending more and more families into a downward financial spiral. These are flashing warning signs that are not looking good in the job market. In fact, last month, nearly 300,000 people filed for unemployment benefits in the United States. That's the most people we've seen file for unemployment since October 2021 during the COVID pandemic. So no, things are not business as usual when it comes to unemployment. So here's how I see it. To me, it looks like it's just really damned hard to find a job right now. People can't find jobs, no one's hiring, and now companies are laying off workers who then have fewer job openings to even apply for. On top of that, Trump has also fired thousands and thousands of federal workers, meaning there are even fewer jobs available and even more people out there looking for work. And can I just say here that this is a really big mistake from the administration. We're talking about the Trump administration firing the people who inspect our food and who make sure it is safe to eat. the people who make sure that airplanes aren't falling out of the sky, the people who make sure that rich people's fancy accountants aren't helping them steal from the government. It is truly beyond me why they would even think about firing those people. So, besides the fact that Trump is just out here firing people left and right, why else is the job market so bad? And a lot of this goes back to Trump's approach to the economy. So let me just give you one example. I recommend looking at my last video on Trump's tariffs, but if you haven't, here's the short version of it. Trump's chaotic on-again, off-again tariffs are making companies too uncertain to actually keep hiring. So if you're running a business that makes shoes and you don't know how much it's going to cost to make those shoes anymore, then you don't want to hire people. And you also don't know how many people who are going to want shoes because of tariffs raising costs. And you also don't know how many workers you can afford to pay or how many workers you will actually need. So think of all that uncertainty. Why would you hire now if you don't know what you're going to need in 3 months? Trump's chaotic policies are creating real problems for companies who want to hire more people and creating problems for people who are looking for a job. There is just no way around this. So let me be crystal clear here. Donald Trump promised that he would lower costs on day one. Those were his words, on day one. And now people all across this country aren't just facing sky-high prices on everything from groceries to school supplies. His disastrous economic agenda also means Americans can't get jobs. This is a man who made an economic crisis. And if you ask me, that is a betrayal to all of the people that believed that Trump would lower their costs.